Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to stick around, check out some of my other content, see if you like it, and if you do, hit that subscribe button down below. Now, today I'm going to be telling you about the time that I went to jail, or almost went to jail. I didn't really go to jail, but if you want to hear about it, stay tuned for after the intro. So I've tried to record this video several times, and the last time my nose was running, I didn't know, and the camera pick up everything, so I had to delete that. I have a flipping cold, y'all, and the person who I committed the crime against was supposed to be in the video with me, and they chickened out. So I was younger, okay? This was years ago. I was young, I was stupid. I did some stupid things, but I've learned, I've grown, and it was back then. And the person that this happened to, him and I are friends now, like great friends. So even though he, chickened out on me, but this happened back in 2003. Like I've said before, I was a teenage mother. I was 17 when I had my first daughter, and my boyfriend at the time was about 19 or 20. And when our daughter was 6 months old, we broke up. Now, any relationship, no matter what age, whenever a child comes into play, it creates hurdles sometimes. And us being young, immature, babies having babies, we didn't handle it well. So we broke up. He went there, I went here, whatever. And of course, mothers are usually, the ones that are mainly responsible for the babies. So, everything fell on me, and regardless, I was a young mom, but certain things I always had a mature mindset about. I didn't grow up with my father, so I always wanted my daughter to have her father in her life. She was supposed to be daddy's little girl, and he was just being an asshole at the time. Like, I remember one night I asked him I needed money for milk and diapers. Back then, a bag of milk was literally like $3. A bag of diaper was probably like maybe 15, depending on the size, the big, like if you buy the box or the bag or whatever. So all he had to do was give me literally $25. And I called him and I asked him. I remember it was a Friday night, so he had just gotten paid. We were together, so before, so obviously I knew his routine. I knew when he was getting paid. So I called him I need some money for diapers, milk and diapers. He's telling me, oh, I don't have any money because I just paid my car insurance. I'm like, sir, you don't have any money because of what? Literally, seriously. So you're telling me that your car comes before our daughter? That's what you're telling me. And it's not like I was never somebody who was money hungry, so it's not like every day or every week I'm asking you for money or whatever. I made do with what I had to do. So the fact that I'm asking you for something, that means I needed it. You know what I'm saying? Or even like I said, I'm the one that's mainly taking care of her. He wasn't on child support, so it's not like it's something you're paying on a regular. So the 1 or 2 times I might ask you for something, it shouldn't be a problem. Even if you didn't want to give me the money in my hands, go buy the stuff and bring it to me. You're telling me you just paid your car insurance. Anyways, I don't even know where I was walking from that night, but I made it home. The anger, literally my head chipped that night. I got home, and I was living with a roommate at the time. I didn't tell her what I was about to do. I had plans. He was going to get it that night. He was going to get it. But I didn't tell her what I was going to do, because had I told her, she would have tried to talk me out of it. And there was no talking me out of nothing. Nothing. Okay? So went in the house, and I'm like, watch the baby for me. I'll be back. I didn't tell her where I was going. I didn't tell her what I was going to do. And dropped my daughter off. Picked up her door bag. Yes, I involved Dora in a crime. picked up her door knapsack, packed it with the biggest knife that we had in the kitchen, okay? And then on my way out the door in the yard, we used to have like my landlord used to like plant flowers and stuff like that. So he had some rocks and stuff that, you know, lined them up, make the thing look nice. So I picked up the biggest one that I could carry and I called a cab. Yes, I know what you're thinking. If you don't have money to you know, buy milk and diaper, how come you have money for a cab? Back then a cab was literally like maybe $3-4 compared to where I live to where he lived. So it was about $3 to $4. And took a cab, went to, I knew he wasn't home. Because I remember when I called him, I knew he wasn't home. But his car was parked in front of his house. So I'm like, I'm not going to mash up the side that's on the street. Because when he's coming back in the house, he's going to see the car was damaged. I needed time to, you know, come up with my alibi and stuff for when the police come. Because I knew he's that type that he would have called the police. I knew it. So I went around to the side that he would see when he's coming out the house the next morning. You know, by that time I would have come up with an alibi, you know. And I started to cut the tires. Because my thing was I was going to cut at least, you know, those, if I could have gotten all 4, but at least those 2 on the side, on that face the house or whatever. And the first couple jabs I took, the knife broke. Just my luck, right? So I took out the rock and I started to smash the window. After a while though, I got scared. I don't know how many times I hit it, but I got scared because I'm like, I'm making noise. People are going to hear me. So after I did that now, and I remember I took the rock and I, you know, scratched it because I was weak, you know, it didn't smash, but it definitely needed to be replaced. So I took the rock and I scrawled on the side. So the paint damage and everything, like I was going in. That was his baby. The car was more important than, you know, than his daughter. So I'm like, that was my only way of hurting him. So I was going in. So I did that and I ran over to the next street and I called another cab, you know, and I went home. Actually, I don't even know if I called a cab. Maybe I walked back home. I don't think I had enough money. So I may have walked back home because we didn't live that far apart. And I went in the house and I think that's when I told my roommate. No, when the police showed up, that's when I told my roommate what happened. Because like I said, I'm thinking that the police are going to take, you know, a day at least, you know, the next morning. So I was planning to either go to another friend's house for the weekend or I would have some sort of alibi, you know. My nerves would have been calm or whatever. Less than an hour, the cops were at my door. And you know how the police knock, they're banging, like banging. So my roommate's like, you know, after I told her what happened, she's like, oh, we need to open the door. And I can't lie and say I wasn't there, you know, because so they came, they knocked, and I went and I opened the door. And they're like, oh, are you Juliana such and such? I'm like, yes. They're like, oh, this person, they're accusing you. They said you did this and you did that. We need you to come down to the station to be questioned. I don't remember if I was handcuffed, but I definitely remember being in the back of the police car. It was a male and a female police officer. And, you know, she's friending me up, talking to me, you know, and I was an emotional wreck. Okay. Like I was legit hurt and I did what I did out of anger. So I was still emotional at the time and I'm there, you know, she's sweet talking me and I'm there bawling and I'm crying, bearing my soul. Like, he hurt me, he broke my heart, and he won't help me take care of her daughter, and he didn't want to give me any money. So that's why I did this and I did that. And you're lying. I think at first I didn't want to say anything. I remember her telling me, oh, you were caught on video camera in the cab. Lies. Because back then cabs didn't have video cameras. But I wasn't even thinking, you know? I'm like, the cop said it, so it must be the truth. Anyways, I confessed And then when we got to the police station now, they're like, oh, this is going to have to go on record. So we're going to have to go in and record it. You're going to have to sign this and that and blah, blah, blah. We'll get you out of here by tonight, get you back home to your daughter and this and that. And so I confessed. And like I said back then, I didn't know the cops could legally lie to you. I did not know that. Because had I known that, they would have never gotten nothing out of me. But I wasn't. And allegedly, my ex said that I told him that I was going to do it. That's how he knew it was me. I don't remember saying that. But probably in anger, I probably did shout it out, you know? So yeah, probably in anger, I probably did say, I'm going to come smash up your car. So, and I remember like, this is years later, and I'm like, why did you have to tell, you know, call the cops and say it was me? Oh, because insurance had to pay, I had to, you know, do it for insurance purposes. Okay, but you could have called and said someone smashed up your car. You didn't have to say it was me. You just wanted to be spiteful and punish me. Okay, fine. I guess I was a bit spiteful and mash up his car too, whatever. But he deserved it. He deserved it. Because I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't the type where I was on him for money. Like, all I asked for was $20, $25. You couldn't give me $25? Like, really? And I knew you were spending money on other girls, you know? Yes, we had broken up, but whatever. I was still in my, you know, the breakup was fresh and I was still emotional and, you know, I did what I did. This was years ago. I remember I had to go to court. I didn't end up with a criminal record. I think I had to pay like a fine or something like that, you know, issue an apology. I don't even remember exactly what happened. But that was basically the story of, you know, when I went to, I didn't go to jail. Because even that night, the cops drove me back home after they took my statement, I signed whatever, they took my picture, you know, my mugshot. They drove me home that night, like they said they were. And that's what happened. Him and I, my ex and I, were friends. We're great friends now. Him and his daughter, you know, have a great relationship now. You know, over the years, you know, it's been up and down, but she's 18 now. You know, him and I have grown. And yeah, like I said, I was young and I'm stupid. I wouldn't do something like that now because I'm not trying to get a criminal record. You know, I'm not trying to ruin my career, you know. And that's what happened, guys. Yes, I smashed up his car, but it's okay. The car recovered. He got it fixed. Insurance paid for it. The beloved insurance that he didn't have the money, you know, to give me for. He paid them. They paid for it. But yeah, if you made it to the end of the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.